we are back on White Mountains Day with Laura Cummings from White Birch Books. Laura, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
February vacation, Valentine's Day.
Yes, wearing my red.
Yes, you nailed it. But it was funny because I was telling you earlier, I was driving in the show and I'm like, okay, what am I going to pump today?
Right.
What's going to be my angle? I was like, well, Valentine's Day, of course, is tomorrow. And then I was like, well, not everybody loves celebrating Valentine's Day. So you sort of covered the gamut between really cool gifts, creative stuff, and some interesting book selections.
Yes, well, I thought I had that exact same thought that, you're not always going to buy like the hearts and flowers and everything. And, we do have a lot of fun little Valentine's gift, but, maybe either your Valentine tends to something a little darker, or maybe you don't have a Valentine. So I bought Lisa Gardner's newest thriller. So you've got some murder and mystery here, and another great book. And actually, another book. This was her big pick.
Oh.
We had an event with Lisa on Monday night, and she said this was her big favorite book.
Really?
And it's like this orphan. It's this program where they take children and teach them to be killers.
Oh, geez.
But then they disband it. So Orphan X is kind of like a, he's out helping people. So he's doing good deeds. He's using his powers for good. But anyway, so if you don't want...
That's so funny. Like I brought like colorful socks and murder.
Yes. Because you got to have everything. And that's the same. I brought some coloring books to show because coloring books make a great present.
It was the hard gift this year.
Yes. Or if maybe you don't have your Valentine's plans and you want to make sure you're going to be busy.
Yeah.
Well, buy a lovely coloring book and then, you'll be all set for the whole weekend.
And it does good things for your brain too, so.
Exactly, and we have so many, and they keep making so many. I keep saying, when is this going to end? But so far, especially with this cold weather and everything, it's a perfect indoor. And these are called adult coloring books because they're a little finer. But there's no saying you can't
go outside the lines.
Yeah, or you can't have your kids do them with you. You each do a different page and then kind of compare afterwards. I mean, it's a fun. Just think how quiet.
I love the cherry blossoms.
Yes, that's a very...
Almost before this whole Arctic, what do they call it, the polar vortex. I know, it's come back. But before that, I was like, it almost feels like spring. I can kind of feel it. And then polar vortex.
Yes. Well,
so this would be great for indoor.
Right, we need that. And then I brought these, and I will let you hold on to that.
This is so dainty.
These are made by Julia, who works at our store.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
and they're all handmade, so they're not obviously mass-produced or anything. And they're just little fairy scenes.
That is so beautiful.
There's
fairy homes.
Yes, and little girls have been loving them as well as adults. I mean, it's a very unique present. You're not going to find it anywhere else. If you want to take the lid off and put a fairy baby in there, you can, or it just stays as its own little world.
Where babies come from. Yes. You want to grab the other one?
There we go. Yes. So this is a little sofa, and she makes these all herself, all with like found items, or she buys some material, but these are only two. We have she makes a couple that are in a smaller jar and a couple that are in an even bigger jar, but
I'm thinking little girl birthday parties, or even bigger birthday parties, because these are something that they could put on their shelf as like a keepsake.
Right, and just your imagination with something like that. You could have a lot of fun, and in fact, we've sold them to little girls as well as big girls. I mean, because there are people have quite an affinity for fairies, and when she showed these to me, I was amazed. I was worried about how much free time she had, but
put her to work, Laura, please.
but they're really neat.
Let's talk about some of my favorite stuff. Of course, I love quirky little stuffed animals, but I also love socks. I don't know which one you want to tackle first.
Well, we can do the socks. I bought the ninjas because they're red. I didn't have any hearts or anything like that,
but red.
But yes, and I thought, well, ninjas work work for that Valentine, not Valentine thing too. So we have.
And are these men?
Those are men's,
Yeah.
or large-footed women's. But we do have a selection of men's. We have a nice selection, and they're knee socks for the women. They go all the way up to
I love the socks I got at your place. And we were just talking, we talked for a while off camera, and can you believe it? We still come back and there's like an hour of stuff. But the knee socks that you mentioned, you had the dandelions blowing in the breeze, the gray ones with the white.
Those are very
so pretty. But these are a lot of fun and a cool gift. And then you get this guy.
Yes, that's Pete the cat, and I brought him because he's got his guide to love and romance, and he's a children's book character. He's kind of funny. He's got one blue shoe, one red shoe here, and you know, it's fun to pair your books with your stuffed animals, and they're great gifts again for kids. We have, you know, we've got a Stregonona doll, and we've got little polar bears.
Is that the bat one?
No, Stregonona is the old lady who tells. Yeah, Stella Luna's the bat. I can't really get into the bat. I don't know. Isn't that terrible?
Why not?
I'm like, bats. But anyway, no. So we've got a lot of what do they call it? They call it plush, but we've got a lot that go with the.
But yeah, so you do have a great selection, and of course books. You have so many books in the shop, and you have the expertise to get you the book that you want. So if you're not quite sure what you want title-wise, but you know the genre or sort of even the gist of it, you can go to Laura. She loves this when you come in with not.
Well, that's what was really funny. We just had a gentleman in, and he was buying a book for his wife, and he said she reads this and this and this. What can I get her? And it was like, well, then she will like this and this and this.
Yeah.
And he was like, awesome. And that is what we do. And the other thing I want to say, just for the budget conscious people, we just did a huge order and just got them all in all the shelf of our new bargain books.
Oh.
And this is it's really great because you can get, you know, kids' picture books are getting pricier, and so now we have a whole selection of kids' picture books anywhere from like $3.99.
Really?
The highest is probably like $9.99.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And yeah, we have a whole section upstairs. So we've got kids, we've got a lot of new nonfiction and memoir, a lot of history, and we also completely filled up our fiction bargain stuff. So,
so when can they get over? Do you have special hours for February vacation, or is it this?
No, we pretty much stay the same because, you know, once it gets cold, people they're in at night. So we're 9:30 to 6 Monday to Saturday.
That's plenty. That's plenty.
And 10 to 5 on Sunday.
Okay.
And we just, like I mentioned, we just had our great kickoff event with Lisa Gardner. So we do have all of her books signed of this new one. So get it this week. That'd be awesome. Because this is a curl up and read start to finish type of thing.
That sounds good. And tell them your location so they can find you.
We are in North Conway Village. We're just south of the park in the new community center, across the street from TD Bank. And we're there. We're happy. We're staffed. I hear town's going to be busy this week.
Yeah, that's what they say. So people are coming in, and if you would like to find a great book or a great little gift, you can head on over to White Birch Books right here in North Conway, just south of the village as you're heading south on the right. So Laura, always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
And happy Valentine's Day.
Yes.
All right, folks, go visit Laura and the rest of the crew at White Birch Books. We'll be back with more. We have Jack Steffen waiting from Gorham Bike and Ski.
White Birch Books, your small town bookstore with a big town selection, carries bestsellers, local lore and guides, bargains, and books for all ages. Greeting cards? We're biased, but ours are the best. We make it easy to shop with personal recommendations and handle special orders with fast in-store delivery. Everyone is invited to relax, explore, and find that perfect book, gift, or card.